or afternoon, or evening, or night, wherever it is for you. Whenever it is for you, wherever you are. Where I am, it's morning, and I have the house to myself for about an hour. So I have time for a comfy morning stream before I have to work. So we're going to continue our quest. Which is to read the complete works of Sara Teasdale from A to Z. Last night we finished the L's, which had a lot of love poems. Of course, she writes a lot of love poems of various titles, so I certainly expect to encounter some more in the latter part of the alphabet. So, this morning we begin the M's. And the first M poem is called Madeira from the Sea. Out of the delicate dream of the distance, an emerald emerges, veiled in the violet folds of the air of the sea. Softly the dream grows, awakening, shimmering white of a city. Splashes of crimson, the gay bougainvillea, the palms. High in the infinite blue of its heaven, a quiet cloud lingers, lost and forgotten of winds that have fallen asleep to the tune of a Portuguese song in a garden. That's just a nice little poem. A little prosy but short. Next up, apparently, we have a poem that's a lot prosy and long. Sometimes these ones can be quite tiring. But I am committed to my mission to read them all. And so here we go. This one is called Mariana Alcoferrando. The sparrows wake beneath the convent eaves. I think I have not slept the whole night through, but I am old. The aged scarcely know the times they wake and sleep, for life burns down. They breathe the calm of death before they die. The long night ends, the day comes creeping in, showing the sorrows that the darkness hid. The bended head of Christ, the blood, the thorns. The walls, gray stains of damp, the pallet bed, where little Sister Marta dreams of saints, waking with arms outstretched imploringly, that seek to stay a vision's vanishing. I never had a vision yet for me. Our Lady smiled while all the convent slept. One winter midnight hushed around with snow. I thought she might be kinder than the rest. So I came to kneel before her feet, sick with love's sorrow and love's bitterness. But when I would have made the blessed sign, I found the water frozen in the font, and touched but ice within the carved stone. The saints had hid themselves away from me, leaving the windows black against the night. And when I sank upon the altar steps, before the Virgin Mother and her child, the last pale, low burnt taper flickered out. But in the darkness, smooth and fathomless, still twinkled like a star the holy lamp that cast a dusky glow upon her face. Then, through the numbing cold, peace fell on me, submission and the gracious gift of tears, for when I look, oh blessed miracle, her lips had parted and Our Lady smiled. And then I knew that love is worth its pain, and that my heart was richer for his sake, since lack of love is bitterest of all. The day is broad awake, the first long beam of level sun finds Sister Marta's face, and trembling there it lights a timid smile upon the lips that say so many prayers, and have no words for hate and none for love. But when she passes where her prayers have gone, will God not smile a little sadly then, and send her back with gentle words to earth, that she may hold a child against her breast, and feel its little hands upon her hair? We weep before the Blessed Mother's shrine, to think upon her sorrows, but her joys, what none could ever know a tithing of. The precious hours she watched above his sleep were worth the fearful anguish of the end. Yea, lack of love is bitterest of all. Yet I have felt what thing it is to know one thought forever, sleeping or awake, to say one name whose sweetness grows so strange that it might work a spell upon those who weep, to feel the weight of love upon my heart, so heavy that the blood can scarcely flow. Love comes to some unlooked for quietly, as when at twilight with a soft surprise we see the newborn crescent in the blue. And unto others love is planet-like, a cold and placid gleam that wavers not. And there are those who wait the call of love, expectant of his coming, as we watch to see the east grow pallid ere the moon lifts up her flower-like head against the night. Love came to me as comes a cruel sun, that on some rain-drenched morning, when the leaves are bowed beneath their clinging weight of drops, tears through the mist and burns with fervent heat the tender grasses and the meadow flowers. Then suddenly the heavy clouds close in, and through the dark thunders the muttering is drowned amid the dashing of the rain. But I have seen my day grow calm again. The sun sets slowly on a peaceful world, and sheds a quiet light across the fields. poem called Mariana Alcoforando by Sara Teasdale. Next up, we have a poem called May by Sara Teasdale. This one is quite a bit shorter. The wind is tossing the lilacs, the new leaves laugh in the sun, and the petals fall on the orchard wall, but for me the spring is done. Beneath the apple blossoms I go a wintry way, for love that smiled in April is false to me in May. Now we have one called May Day. There are several poems beginning with the word May. And since we're going in alphabetical order, we're going to read them all at once. A delicate fabric of birdsong floats in the air. The smell of wet, wild earth is everywhere. Red small leaves of the maple are clenched like a hand. Like girls at their first communion, the pear trees stand. Oh, I must pass nothing by without loving it much. The raindrop try with my lips, the grass with my touch. For how can I be sure I shall see again the world on the 1st of May, shining after the rain? She frequently rhymes the word again with the word rain. Though she was American, I know she was American, but apparently she was an American who spoke as if she were British. She must have said, again, I shall see again the world on the 1st of May, shining after the rain. Next up, a poem called May Night. The spring is fresh and fearless, and every leaf is new. The world is brimmed with moonlight, the lilac brimmed with dew. Here in the moving shadows I catch my breath and sing. My heart is fresh and fearless, and overbrimmed with spring. That one is quite lovely, I think. And the last of the May poems is called May Wind. I said, I have shut my heart as one shuts an open door, that love may starve therein and trouble me no more. But over the roofs there came the wet new wind of May, and a tune blew up from the curb where the street pianos play. My room was white with the sun, and love cried out in me, I am strong, I will break your heart, unless you set me free. That was very nice, I think. Next up we have meadowlarks. In the silver light after a storm, under dripping boughs of bright new green, I take the low path to hear the meadowlarks, lone and high-hearted as if I were a queen. What have I to fear in love or death, who have known three things: the kiss in the night, the white flying joy when a song is born, and meadowlarks whistling in silver light. Another very nice little poem. That was meadowlarks. And up next we have message. I heard a cry in the night, 1,000 miles it came. Sharp as a flash of light, my name, my name. It was your voice I heard, you waked and loved me so. I send you back this word. I know, I know. A nice poem. Apologies for the truck driving by outside if you heard that. Next up, we have a poem called Moods. I am the still rain falling, too tired for singing mirth. Oh, be the green fields calling, oh, be for me the earth. I am the brown bird pining to leave the nest and fly. Oh, be the fresh cloud shining, oh, be for me the sky. Next is Moonlight by Sara Teasdale. It will not hurt me when I am old. Running tide where the moonlight burned will not sting me like silver snakes. The years will make me sad and cold. It is the happy heart that breaks. The heart asks more life, the more than life can give. When that is learned, then all is learned. The waves break fold on jeweled fold. But beauty itself is fugitive. It will not hurt me when I am old. That was Moonlight by Sara Teasdale. Next is Morning. Good morning, everybody. We'll have a little poem in the morning called Morning. I went out on an April morning all alone, for my heart was high. I was a child of the shining meadow. I was a sister of the sky. There in the windy flood of morning, longing lifted its weight from me. Lost as a sob in the mist of cheering, swept as a seabird out to the sea. And now, a poem called Morning Song. A diamond of a morning waked me an hour too soon. Dawn had taken in the stars and left the faint white moon. O white moon, you are lovely. It is the same with me. But we have the world to roam over. Only the lonely are free. I like that one a lot, actually. Only the lonely are free. That one suits me for sure. And now we arrive at the end of the M's with a poem called My Heart is Heavy. My heart is heavy with many a song, like ripe fruit bearing down the tree. But I can never give you one. My songs do not belong to me. Yet in the evening, in the dusk, when moths go to and fro, in the gray hour, if the fruit has fallen, take it. No one will know. And now we have arrived at the ends with a poem called Nahant, Nahant. I don't know what that means. Must be a name from some story. No, it's a place. It's a town in Massachusetts. Nahant, Massachusetts. Perhaps that explains why she says again, why she makes again rhyme with rain in her poems, if she is in fact from that part of America, combined with the fact that she lived more than 100 years ago. That would explain why she says again. Bowed as an elm under the weight of its beauty, so earth is bowed under her weight of splendor. Molten sea, richness of leaves, and the burnished bronze of sea grasses. Clefts in the cliff shelter, the purple sand peas, and chicory flowers bluer than the ocean, flinging its foam high, a white fire in sunshine, jewels of water. Joyous thunder of blown waves on the ledges make me forget war and the dark war sorrow. Against the sky a sentry paces the sea cliff, slim in his khaki. Next up, a poem called New Love and Old. Hello, Useless. How are you doing? Welcome to my stream. We're reading some poetry today. We are reading, in fact, the complete works of a poet called Sara Teasdale in alphabetical order. And we're in the ends, so I'm a bit more than halfway through. I'm doing great. I have about an hour before I have to do work, so it's kind of a rare opportunity to have the house to myself. So I decided, how about a stream? I find streaming very relaxing. Hello, King. The whole gang is here. Welcome to stream. Okay, here we go. New love and old. In my heart, the old love struggled with the new. It was ghostly waking all night through. Dear things, kind things that my old love said ranged themselves reproachfully round my bed. But I could not heed them, for I seemed to see the eyes of my new love fixed on me. Old love, how can I be true? Shall I be faithless to myself or to you? No worries, King. I appreciate you stopping by. Next up we have New Year's Dawn, Broadway. I've read several poems that she wrote already about Broadway. I think she spent a lot of time in New York. When the horns wear thin and the noise like a garment outworn falls from the night, the tattered and shivering night that thinks she is gay. When the patient silence comes back and retires and returns, rebuffed by a ribald song, wounded by vehement cries, fleeing again to the stars. Ashamed of her sister the night, oh then they steal home, the blinded, the pitiful ones, with their gewgaws still in their hands, reeling with odorous breath and thick, coarse words on their tongues. They get them to bed somehow, and sleep the forgiving comes through the scattering tumult and closes their eyes. The stars sink down ashamed, and the dawn awakes like a youth who steals from a brothel, dizzy and sick. That's an unusual poem for her. Okay, next up, Night in Arizona. The moon is a charring ember, dying into the dark. Off in the crouching mountains, coyotes bark. The stars are heavy in heaven, too great for the sky to hold. What if they fell and shattered the earth with gold? No lights are over the mesa. The wind is hard and wild. I stand at the darkened window and cry like a child. Next up, we have Night Song at Amalfi. I asked the heaven of stars what I should give my love. It answered me with silence, silence above. I asked the darkened sea down where the fishers go. It answered me with silence, silence below. Oh, I could give him weeping or I could give him song. But how can I give silence my whole life long? That's nice. Next up is Nightfall. We will never walk again as we used to walk at night, watching our shadows lengthen under the gold streetlight, when the snow was new and white. We will never walk again, slowly we two, in the spring when the park is sweet, with midnight and with dew, and the passers-by are few. I sit and think of it all, and the blue June twilight dies. Down in the clanging square, a street piano cries, and stars come out in the skies. Next is November. The world is tired, the year is old. The fading leaves are glad to die. The wind goes shivering with cold, where the brown reeds are dry. Our love is dying like the grass, and we who kissed grow coldly kind, half glad to see our old love pass, like leaves along the wind. I have to say that last rhyme was a bit of a stretch. That kind rhymes with wind. It's okay, Sarah, I forgive you. You can have a few duds. This one is called O Day of Fire and Sun. O day of fire and sun, pure as a naked flame, blue sea, blue sky, and dun sands where he spoke my name. Laughter and hearts so high that the spirit flew off the free, lifting into the sky, diving into the sea. O day of fire and sun, like a crystal burning, slow days go one by one, but you have no returning. Next we have Oh, You Are Coming. Oh, you are coming, 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 how hungry time put by the hours till then. But why does it anger my heart too long so, for one man out of the world of men? Oh, I would live in myself only and build my life lightly and still as a dream. Are not my thoughts clearer than your thoughts, and colored like stones in a running stream? Now the slow moon brightens in heaven, the stars are ready, the night is here. Oh, why must I lose myself to love you, my dear? See you later, King. Enjoy your day. Be comfy. Okay. Old Tunes by Sara Teasdale. As the waves of perfume heliotrope rose, float in the garden when no wind blows. Come to us, go from us, whence no one knows. So the old tunes float in my mind, and go from me, leaving no trace behind, like fragrance born on the hush of the wind. But in the instant the airs remain, I know the laughter and the pain of times that will not come again. I try to catch at many a tune, like petals of light fallen from the moon, broken and bright on a dark lagoon. But they float away, for who can hold youth or perfume or the moon's gold? I like that one. It has a very simple rhyming scheme, which makes it sound really nice. On a March day, here in the teeth of this triumphant wind that shakes the naked shadows on the ground, making a keyboard of the earth to strike, from clattering tree and hedge a separate sound. Bear witness for me that I loved my life, all things that hurt me, and all things that healed, and that I swore it this day in March, here at the edge of this new broken field. You only knew me, tell them I was glad for every hour since the hour of birth, and that I ceased to fear as once I feared, the last complete reunion with the earth. That was On a March Day. Next we have On the Death of Swinburne. He trod the earth but yesterday, and now he treads the stars. He left us in the April time, he praised so often in his rhyme. He left the singing and the lyre and went his way. He drew new music from our tongue, a music subtly wrought, and molded words to his desire, as wind doth mold a wave of fire. From strangely fashioned harps slow golden tones he rung. I think the singing understands that he who sang is still, and Iseult cries that he is dead. Does not Dolores bow her head, and Fragoletta weep and wring her little hands? New singing now the singer hears, to lyre and lute and harp. Catullus waits to welcome him, and through the twilight sweet and dim, Sappho's forgotten songs are falling on his ears. That was a poem written by a poet to another poet, I would guess. On the Dunes. If there is any life when death is over, these tawny beaches will know much of me. I shall come back as constant and as changeful as the unchanging many-colored sea. If life was small, if it has made me scornful, forgive me, I shall straighten like a flame in the great calm of death, and if you want me, stand on the seaward dunes and call my name. So the mics I'm using a pair of microphones to get stereo. They are not the kind that is usually used for ASMR. These are mini shotgun mics, so they're long and skinny. They're the sort of thing you might mount on top of a camera for shooting an interview in a noisy environment, because they're very directional. They just pick up what's right in front of them. But I'm using them in a weird way. They're designed for you to be kind of far from the mic, but I'm right next to it. I actually ordered some parts to make a 3DO style mic for myself with silicone ears and everything. But some of the parts are shipping from the UK, so it's taking a long time. And then I can do ear lickies. How about that? Okay. Next up. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. This is not a poem. This is a whole play. A play in one act. And it's several pages long. It's called On the Tower. That's interesting. The automod caught you there because you said LMAO. Maybe my automod settings are a little bit harsh. I'm not actually walking on my treadmill today. Thank you, Streamlabs. Okay, well, here we go. I'm going to read a whole damn play. And then that'll probably be it for my stream, I think. On the Tower by Sara Teasdale. A play in one act. The night, the lady. Voices of men and women on the ground at the foot of the tower. The voice of the night's page. The top of a high, battlemented tower of a castle, a stone ledge which serves as a seat, extends partway around the parapet. Small clouds float by in the blue sky, and occasionally a swallow passes. Entrance right, from an unseen stairway which is supposed to extend around the outside of the tower. The lady, unseen. Oh, do not climb so fast, for I am faint, with looking down the tower to where the earth lies dreaming in the sun. I fear to fall. The night, unseen. Lean on me, love, my love, and look not down. Call me not love, call me your conquered foe, that now, since you have battered down her gates, gives you the keys that lock the highest tower, and mounts with you to prove her homage true. Oh, bid me go no farther lest I fall. My foot has slipped upon the rain-worn stones. Why are the stairs so narrow and so steep? Let us go back, my lord. Are you afraid, who were so dauntless till the walls gave way? Courage, my sweet, I would that I could climb 1,000 times by wind-swept stairs like these, that lead so near to heaven. Sir, you may. You are a knight and very valorous. I am a woman. I shall never come this way but once. The knight and the lady appear on the top of the tower. Kiss me at last, my love. Oh, my sweet lord, I am too tired to kiss. Look how the earth is like an emerald, with rivers veined and flawed with fallow fields. And then the night, lifting her veil, this is getting very spicy now. Then I kiss you 1,000,000 kisses, for all the days ere I had won to you, beyond the walls and gates you barred so close. Call me at last your love, your castle's lord. And then the lady, after a pause, says, I love you. She kisses him. Her veil blows away like a white butterfly over the parapet. Faint cries and laughter from men and women under the tower. Men and women, the veil, the lady's veil. The knight takes the lady in his arms. My lord, I pray you loose me from your arms, lest that my people see how much we love. May they not see us? All of them have loved. But you have been an enemy, my lord, with walls between us and with moss-grown moats. Now on a sudden I must kiss your mouth, I who was taught before I learned to speak that all my house was hostile unto yours. Now can I put my head against your breast, here in the sight of all who choose to come. Are we not past the caring for their eyes and nearer to the heaven than to earth? Look up and see. I only see your face. She touches his hair with her hands, murmuring under the tower. Why came we here in all the noonday light, with only darting swallows over us to make a speck of darkness on the sun? Let us go down where walls will shut us round. Your castle has 100 quiet halls, 100 chambers where the shadows lie, on things put by, forgotten long ago, forgotten lutes with strings the time has slackened. We too shall draw them close and bid them sing. Forgotten games, forgotten books still open, where you laid them by at vesper time, and your embroidery whereon half worked weeps armor wounded by a rose's thorn. Shall I not see the room in which you slept, palpitant still in breathing of your thoughts, where maiden dreams adown the ways of sleep swept noiselessly with damsels and knights, to tourneys where the trumpet made no sound, blow as he might the scarlet trumpeter? And were the dreams not sometimes brimmed with tears that waked you when the night was loneliest? Will you not bring me to your oratory, where prayers arose like little birds set free, still upward, upward without sound of flight? Shall I not find your turrets toward the north, where you defied white winter armed for war? Your southern casements where the sun blows in between leaf-bent boughs the wind has lifted? Shall we not see the sunrise toward the east? Watch dawn by dawn the rose of day unfolding its golden-hearted beauty sovereignly, and toward the west look quietly at evening? Shall I not see all these and all your treasures, in carven coffers hidden in the dark? Have you not laid a sapphire lit with flame, an amethyst set round with deep-wrought gold, perhaps a ruby? All my gems are yours, and all my chambers curtained from the sun. My lord shall see them all in time, in time. The sun begins to sink. Shall I not see them now, today, tonight? How could I show you in one day, my lord, my castle and my treasures and my tower? Let all the days to come suffice for this, since all the past days made them what they are. You will not be impatient, my sweet lord. Some of the halls have long been locked and barred, and some have secret doors and hard to find, till suddenly you touch them unawares, and down a sable way runs silver light. We too will search together for the keys, but not today. Let us sit here today, since all is yours, and always will be yours. The stars appear faintly one by one, and then the night, after a pause. I grow a little drowsy with the dusk. There was a man that loved a maid, sleep and take your rest. Over her lips his kiss was laid, over her heart his breast. The night sleeps. All of his vows were sweet to hear, sweet was his kiss to take. Why was her breast so quick to fear? Why was her heart to break? Why was the man so glad to woo? Sleep and take your rest. Why were the maiden's words so few? She sees that he is asleep, and slipping off her long cloak-like outer garment, she pillows his head upon it against the parapet, and half kneeling at his feet, she sings very softly. I love you, I love you, I love you, I am the flower at your feet. The birds and the stars are above you, my place is more sweet. The birds and the stars are above you, they envy the flower in the grass. For I, only I, while I love you, can die as you pass. Light clouds veil the stars, growing denser constantly. The castle bell rings for vespers, and rising the lady moves to a corner of the parapet and kneels there. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus. The voice of the page from the foot of the tower. My lord, they call for you at court. The night wakes, it is now quite dark. There is a tourney toward, your enemy has challenged you, my lord, make haste to come. The knight rises and gropes his way toward the stairs. I will make haste, await me where you are. There was a lady on this tower with me. He glances around hurriedly, but does not see her in the darkness. My lord has far to ride before the dawn. Why should I tarry? Bring my horse and shield. He descends. As the noise of his footfall on the stairs dies away, the lady gropes toward the stairway, then turns suddenly and going to the ledge where they sat. She throws herself over the parapet. Curtain. That was a play in one act called On the Tower. I'm not sure I really signed up to read a whole play today. I didn't realize that was in this collection, but yeah, it wasn't so bad. Okay. Looks like I have a little longer, so I'm going to read a few more. Maybe I'll go until I hit the 1 hour mark, which is in just a few minutes. Now we're back to actual poems. This one is called Only in Sleep. Only in sleep I see their faces, children I played with when I was a child. Louise comes back with her brown hair braided, Annie with ringlets warm and wild. Only in sleep time is forgotten, what may have come to them who can know. Yet we played last night as long ago, and the dollhouse stood at the turn of the stair. The years had not sharpened their smooth, round faces. I met their eyes and found them mild. Do they too dream of me, I wonder? And for them, am I too a child? Next we have Open Windows. Out of the window a sea of green trees lift their soft boughs like the arms of a dancer. They beckon and call me, come out in the sun, but I cannot answer. I am alone with weakness and pain, sick abed, and June is going. I cannot keep her, she hurries by with the silver green of her garments blowing. Men and women pass in the street, glad of the shining sapphire weather, but we know more of it than they, pain and I together. They are the runners in the sun, breathless and blinded by the race, but we are the watchers in the shade, who speak with wonder face to face. Okay. Next is called Other Men. When I talk with other men, I always think of you. Your words are keener than their words, and they're gentler too. When I look at other men, I wish your face were there, with its gray eyes and dark skin and tossed black hair. When I think of other men dreaming alone by day, the thought of you like a strong wind blows the dreams away. Okay, and here's the last poem beginning with O. It is a long poem, but I have time. It's a poem in 4 parts. It's called Over the Roofs. O chimes set high on the sunny tower, ring on unendingly. Make all the hours a single hour, for when the dusk begins to flower, the man I love will come to me. But no, go slowly as you will, I should not bid you hasten so. For while I wait for love to come, some other girl is standing dumb, fearing her love will go. O white steam over the roofs blow high, O chimes in the tower ring clear and free. O sun awake in the covered sky, for the man I love loves me I. O drifting steam disperse and die, O tower stand shrouded toward the south. Fate heard afar my happy cry, and laid her finger on my mouth. The dusk was blue with blowing mist, the lights were spangles in a veil, and from the clamor far below floated faint music like a wail. It voiced what I shall never speak, my heart was breaking all night long, but when the dawn was hard and gray, my tears distilled into a song. I said, I have shut my heart as one shuts an open door, that love may starve therein and trouble me no more. But over the roofs there came the wet new wind of May, and a tune blew up from the curb where the street pianos play. My room was white with the sun, and love cried out in me, I am strong, I will break your heart, unless you set me free. I see that was actually not one poem in 4 parts, that was a collection of 4 poems, because that last poem I've read already on its own. That's okay, it was nice to read it again. Alrighty, I'm gonna call it quits then for today. I hope you enjoyed the stream.